I think it'll be a fantastic game of football. Both sides are determined to beat each other, and all I can say is that I hope it's an incident-free game. I hope there's no controversy about it, and I hope the best team wins, and I think it'll be Manly.
We're looking for a win, and so are Manly, of course, and there's great individual clashes, especially with Sterling and Blake, so it should be a great game all round.
It's a bit mud in the middle from reports from our third grade, but watching our third grade and the reserve grade, the ball was still thrown around and the handling was quite good, so I think it'll still be a pretty fast game.
We've had a couple of close decisions that have gone against us. We're not probably playing as well as we can. You know, there's certainly a lot more work to do, but I think you'll find that we'll come together today.
Hello, I'm Ray Warren, and welcome to another Rank Arena big game. And what a clash this promises to be between the home side Manly and Parramatta. Well, Brookvale Oval is bursting at the seams. The crowds have been arriving here since early this morning, just after the announcement that the match would go ahead. Some statistics on these two famous clubs. Since 1947, when Manly in fact joined the league, they've played 78 times, Manly winning 49, Parramatta 25. Manly have amassed 1,507 points, Parramatta 1,005. The Brookvale story, they've played 34 times here, Manly winning 23, Parramatta on 10 occasions. Their last clash was the KB Cup of just a few weeks ago, when Manly won by 5 points to 0. The Manly club honours, they've taken out the premiership on 4 occasions and were club champions back in 72, while Parramatta have won the last 2 competitions, 81 and 82, and club champions on 7 occasions. So as I said, we're dealing with 2 heavyweight clubs, both champions, and they go into battle in just a moment. But before kick-off, let's go to the dressing rooms, to Bill Anderson and Graham Hughes.
We're in the Parramatta dressing room, and 1 win out of the last 5 matches isn't such an impressive record for the 1982 premiers. But I feel I saw enough in their clash with Canterbury last week to suggest that today they'll be back in the winners' circle.
We're in the Manly dressing room, and there are a lot of reasons why Manly could win this game. But Parramatta have equally good credentials. Let's just say it's going to be a great game of football between 2 talented and well-coached teams.
Manly Sea Eagles, front runners in the Winfield Cup race, with 8 wins, 1 loss on 16 points. Take the field for today's encounter against the Eels of Parramatta, defending champions. Eadie, Rebo, Carey, Close, Sigsworth, Thompson, Blake, McKay, Boyd, Vorden, Brown, Krilich and Gerard. New boy in the Manly side is Phil Carey, that man who came from the coalfields to Manly a couple of years ago, and he's in the side with Kerry Bowstead unavailable. Parramatta taken out by Stephen Edge. They've won 6 matches of the 9 played, and are on 12 points on the league ladder and share at the moment 3rd placing. Here's the full team readout for Parramatta. Phillips, Hunt, Lydiard, Cronin, Kenny, Ella, Sterling, Price, Sharp, Duffy, Jerd, Edge and Bugden. Gary Phillips, a new face in the Parramatta side. This is the first time he's been chosen in the top grade, and he's back at fullback today. Lydiard goes to the wing to make way for Eric Groth. Welcome now to our viewers through our Queensland stations. Apparently a minimum of football up there today with the weather, and we welcome you to Brookvale Oval for today's big game between Manly and Parramatta, and to be played before a capacity house, probably in the vicinity of 23,000 people here. The pitch rather spongy. Michael Stone is the referee in charge as the toss of the coin takes place. Krilich placing the ball for the kick-off. And so referee Mick Stone has blown time on, and Graham Eadie starts another Manly Parramatta clash. Peter Sterling giving it immediately to David Lydiard, and he's tackled inside his own 22. McCabe was one tackler, Thompson the other. This is Neil Hunt, and again Alan Thompson involved in the tackle. Phillips is the dummy half now, showing it with one hand and then giving it to Sharp and on to Ella, and Ella is hit hard by Close as Cronin goes into dummy half for Sterling to put a kick over the top of the Manly 3/4, and it's taken by Phil Blake, and he gets a pass away to Carey as Ray Price was coming up, and then Brett Kenny is forced to go in with Jeff Bugden and Ray Price to complete the tackle on Carey. Play is about 35 metres out from the Parramatta line as it's spun out wide to Close. And he comes back in field as he saw the Parramatta defenders out wide, standing very close up on Graham Eadie and John Rebo.
I think, as was the case last week, we're going to see a lot of kicking this game. Manly will use kicks as Parramatta play 2 markers and no cover defence. Parramatta will use kicks to break up what's been the best defensive pattern of any team in the record, any team in the league so far this year.
Phil Sigsworth, one of the form players in the Sydney competition, plays it. Krilich runs it, gives it to Vaughton, and Vaughton hits it up towards the quarter line. And another 3-man Parramatta tackle is required to stop the Manly progress. This is Manly's last tackle coming up now for Phil Blake to send it up. Sterling went in with the charge down, but it's coming down to Phillips, and Phillips has taken it well. Only a short man, and it must be an awesome experience going out there before around 23,000 fans here at Brookvale. This is the Rank Arena replay of the bomb from Phil Blake, and Phillips stood his ground, took it, and then has created this line dropout for Michael Cronin. A good drop kick by Cronin too. It's landed some 52 metres on the fly downfield, and Rebo is away from Lydiard. He's got a very big test over there today, Lydiard. Normally it's been Rebo and Growth meeting head on, and neither has given an inch. But Lydiard is much smaller than Rebo, and he could have a handful as this match wears on. Krilich giving it to Brown.
Had a good look at the ground too before the match, Ray, and it probably appears quite good on your screens there, but I can tell you that it's very heavy in the middle. It's going to be a lot slower than usual.
Boyd's pass has gone to ground, and Eadie has to dive on it, and Stone says play on, and indicates that that's the 4th tackle, the one on Boyd, but this one is number 5 on Gerard, right on the halfway mark. For the benefit of our Queensland viewers, co-commentators are former South Sydney coach Bill Anderson and former Canterbury player Graham Hughes. This kick going down, it'll force Phillips to bring it back out. Hunter's gone back in support. He's playing with a lot of confidence in the opening minutes, this boy, Gary Phillips, carrying the ball in one hand, and he took that bomb under pressure, as I showed you on that slow-mo replay. Gibson and Jack Gibson, in front of him Chris Phelan, and flanked there by reserve grade coach John Mooney.
Well, somebody's got to play with some confidence, Ray. Parramatta only 1 win out of the last 5 games.
Ray Price. And Paul McCabe was the tackler. Phillips is in a dummy half through Sterling to Ella. Ella described this morning by our co-commentator Bill Anderson as the best wet weather footballer he's ever seen. Sterling sharp on the run round, turning it back inside for Edge. And play is 12 metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. Duffy. Cronin, a good take by Cronin. Then he got a kick in. This will find touch, I do believe. Yes, it's crossed the touch line just in front of Phil Carey and about 28 metres out from the Manly line. Max Krilich 57.7, Steve Edge 50.6. The hookers' respective scrum success rates. Alan Thompson put down by Price. Some of the crowd thought that Price may have gone in with the knees there, but I can assure you they didn't find the mark. The Sea Eagles with Carey playing it, coming to the blind, cutting out Blake, picking up Boyd. Oh, bad pass by Les Boyd. Paul McCabe's dived on it, but it's a forward pass. And another scrum will go down, and this time it'll be a Parramatta feed and a Parramatta loose head. Les Boyd, that's the 2nd ball he's put down. The first one was under pressure, but there didn't appear to be much pressure there for him. And it's a scrum won by Parramatta. Sterling uses the left winger, Neil Hunt, and oh, that was a bone-crunching tackle from Paul McCabe. That was a very big tackle. Price now dummy half, and here's Phillips up in the back line again, and he's held about 6 metres out from the Manly 22. Price goes in to help him, but Eadie and Gerard make the tackle. Price goes ahead, and he's up to the Manly 22 line.
Yes, Phillips is playing the way we're accustomed to seeing Parramatta fullbacks play. That's not deep running in wide out in the back line, but rather hitting the ball up through the forwards, doing a lot of the heavy work.
Cronin giving a short ball to Bugden. Bugden finds Cronin back on the inside. Now Cronin's looking for somebody to give it to. He's standing there like a colossus. Finds Hunt quickly to Sterling. Sterling looks for Kenny. There goes Kenny, the number 4 for Parramatta, swerving and weaving and looking for some of that touch of genius that he showed on the Kangaroo Tour. And if he does happen to find it, then Manly could have a problem. A grub kick by Sterling. Vaughton and Sterling race for it, and Vaughton is forced to take the ball to ground for a line drop out to restart. Peter Sterling using the grub, getting around and then about 3 metres behind Paul Vaughton, too late. Great little player. His second big battle today in as many weeks. He took on Steve Mortimer last Sunday. Today, Phil Blake. Haven't we got some magnificent halfbacks in this city? Down to Phillips. And back he goes. So he's certainly getting plenty of work.
Yeah, these first 10 or 15 minutes are really going to be important, because already this season at home we've seen Manly blitz both Balmain and Canterbury in that opening quarter.
Cronin able to stand in McCabe's tackle. Was another heavy hit from McCabe, but Cronin showed his strength by standing and getting it to Duffy. And Duffy is going to play it just outside the Manly 22. Price takes it ahead. The Eels realising that Manly have beaten them the last 3 years here at Brookvale, not since '79. Has the Blue and Golds won. Bugden's passed to Cronin, a sweep of a pass away to Lydiard, ducking under one tackle. He's back 11 metres out from the line. Cronin has been able to give some magnificent ball in the opening minutes of this match. Sterling, a long pass again to Cronin, a chip by Cronin, through goes Price, through goes Hunter, and it came off, I do believe, a Manly player. This could be a Parramatta feed. He's indicated it came off Kerry, and let's see it on the Rank Arena replay. Here, yes, he's ordered that it will be a Parramatta feed, very close to the Manly line. 0-0.
If Parramatta win this scrum, I'd expect to see a scrum move.
It is won by Parramatta. Sterling open side and flung to the ground. Again by Paul McCabe. Dummy half is Neil Hunt. Wide to Kenny. The cross was Cronin, then the dummy, and Kenny is felled out there.
Already the Parramatta backs looking very sharp in the opening minutes of this game.
So it's with Phillips, and Phillips runs, and then he's hit hard by Close. Crunching tackle by Close. From Neil Hunt to Stan Jerd, former North Sydney player. And Jerd is hit by Sigsworth and by Graham Eadie. Edges the dummy half. Blind side for Hunt. Then to Lydiard, and Lydiard, I think he's kept his feet in touch. He has. This is the last for Parramatta. Sterling will bomb it. There it goes. It looks too deep to me. No, it's not. Blake's under it. Blake's lost it. And it's gone over the dead ball line for a line dropout. There it is, the bomb from Sterling. Blake taken by Price, but he lost it really before Price got the tackle in.
Yes, and Blake didn't get all the protection he would have liked either.
Yeah, but it's easy to see how very important this game is to Parramatta, with all their big guns prominent early. Ray Price, Peter Sterling and Mick Cronin, and Kenny, of course.
Phillips gives it to Hunt, lets the more experienced winger take it back, and Vaughton is there low. McCabe over the top.
Well, the fireworks that were expected to develop early in this game haven't eventuated, but the willingness of both teams to throw the ball around is very encouraging.
Bugden takes it up. They're now about 25 metres out from the Manly line. Parramatta sustaining pressure through possession. Cronin's kick. Carey takes it, and it's a penalty to Parramatta. You'll find it's obstruction on David Lydiard. I would suggest our head-on shot might show it better. David Lydiard was felled in the back play as he tried to follow that kick. No, this replay is sufficiently good enough. Sigsworth just gave him a gentle nudge, but that's sufficient to bring about a penalty.
Yeah, I thought Michael Cronin would have had a kick from there. It was only 22 metres out and 10 metres in from the sideline.
Maybe they just feel that
they've got pressure on, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's, as I said, it's been on now for about 6 minutes, this pressure, and they're keen to sustain it. And here's Jerd.
Oh, good play.
Oh, Bugden to Price, and Price is in.
Marvellous tackle.
A set piece of play from the Eels has worked to perfection for them. Oh, Stanley Jerd and Jeff Bugden looking like ballet dancers. Jerd pirouetted, Bugden did the same, and then Ray Price said thank you and went under the post to score. The Rank Arena replay again.
Yeah, don't start blaming the Manly defence here. A great ball from Bugden, and backing up as ever Ray Price. A great set move, well performed by all the players.
Well, there he is, and as Max Krilich said to us in an interview this morning, there's no greater player in the world than this man, but I think Ray will be the first to admit that try belonged firmly to the two props. Agree or disagree, Bill Anderson?
Well, it belonged also to the coach. I'm sure that was a well-rehearsed tap play, and one of the ways of beating defence in first-grade football is to put on a set move. Exactly what happened, and that now makes the score 6 points to 0.
Parramatta's team manager, Dennis Fitzgerald, at the back of the stand, and sitting next to him is Mr. Footy Tap, Norman Erskine. Scrum won by the Eagles. It's with John Rebo and tackled by Ella, Duffy and Sterling. Play near the halfway. It's with Close, calls Thompson on the run around. Then the cutout pass to Eadie, and Eadie is tackled about 32 metres out from the Parramatta line. It was play like that from Manly in the KB Cup that saw Manly break Parramatta out wide in the wash-up to win 5-0. Here they are, spinning it from one side to the other, and Max Krilich goes to ground with it just outside the Parramatta quarter. Dummy half former Eel, Jeff Gerard, and he takes it up the centre, and then a clash of players. Bugden thought, in fact, McCabe was going to get it. It's with Blake now. Blake gets a pass away to Vaughton. It's one-on-one at the moment. McCabe has it now, and the Parramatta defence surge in, and McCabe will be told to play it. This is the last. They'll probably test Phillips out again here. Krilich gives it back to Blake. Up it goes, a test to the Parramatta fullback. Will he stand up this time? Oh, that's a great bomb. That's a try if he can get it down, but he can't get it down. Phil Blake at the moment. And Michael Stone has ruled no try, unable to ground it. It'll come back out into the field of play for a 5-metre scrum. Here it was, the bomb on the Rank Arena replay. Phil Blake had it, but then Brett Kenny held him up, and so too did a couple of the others, and then Phil Sigsworth appears to have actually grounded the ball, but referee Stone had already made his ruling on no try. So Sterling to feed the scrum, 5 metres out from his own line, and it's a Parramatta scrum win. McCabe, his tackle count, I'd venture to say, is already into double figures, McCabe. It's with Lydiard, and David is tackled about 10 metres out from the Parramatta line. In front of the uprights, 6-0 in favour of the blue and golds at the moment. Cronin prices the dummy half. Ella away from Vaughton, taken by Chris Close. Play on the 22. Now it's Sterling. This is Bugden. Now Cronin, a quick ball, sending Phillips up to the 22. Inside for Lydiard. He came inside Boyd and is tackled eventually. Doing some cleaning up there. In cover was Philip Blake. Running with it is Duffy. Gets a kick in, sending it down to John Rebo. Rebo 32 metres out from his line. Edge goes up, he passes to Eadie. Eadie was able to step away from Ray Price, but then the second rowers jointly brought him down, Sharp and Duffy, and a penalty goes to Manly. Failing to get off the player tackled, and this penalty has been awarded 10 metres on the Manly side of the halfway. Eadie finding touch just on the Parramatta side of halfway. Now they hit it up with a forward, Dave Brown. 6-0 in favour of Parramatta. Paul Vaughton.
Yes, we've got contrasting styles of tap plays also. Parramatta normally put their plays on the first ruck. Manly take a couple of settlers before they put theirs on.
Boyd. Blake. Sigsworth. McCabe. Right on the quarterway line. Parramatta's end of the field. Krilich to Thompson. He's able to stand in Sterling's tackle. Blake stood in Price's tackle. Boyd runs it. But now the defence converge. And this is the last coming up for the Eels again. For the Eagles, I should say. It's out to Blake. The right foot bomb. Another test for young Phillips. Kenny's gone up with him. Oh, they didn't call one another. Knocked backwards. And Phillips has got the ball. Away from dummy half comes Steve Ella.
Really bad error from Kenny too, because Williams had the ball well and truly covered and there was no need to go up for it at all.
Phillips. Sterling trying to step his way between Jeff Gerard and Dave Brown, but Gerard made the tackle. It's out with Ella. Now to Price, and a penalty to Parramatta. Manly inside the 5. The new man with the whistle in centre field for a television match on a Sunday is Michael Stone. Bobby Fulton up the back of the stand with one of his coaches from the minor grades, Dempsey Joy. Jack Gibson with his head bowed, and Queenslanders watching us today, of course, will recognise the face just in front of him, as I mentioned earlier, Chris Phelan. Kerry Bousted, another Queenslander. Bruce Walker in front of him with Ian Schubert, Noel Cleal. Have a look at that for a bench, would you? Johnny Gibbs. He's made his comeback a couple of weeks ago, and he's come back fine. Lydia trying to worm his way through the defence. And on a day like today, I suppose that word is quite appropriate, because out there is quite heavy. Cronin, my goodness, I tell you what, he's made some of the critics sit up and take notice already. Sharp, up the centre goes Sharp, back in foul, but Lydiard has put it down. It'll be a scrum just inside the Manly 22. Watching Cronin stand in some of these tackles, you'd swear blind he was a front row forward, wouldn't you?
Well, in that play, McCabe again tried to set up his man, and I think Cronin on that occasion came out far the better. Michael Cronin on camera.
It's hard to keep your eye on these two Parramatta wingers. They're roving all over the field looking for work.
Phil Blake to feed it, right on the Manly 22. Can't find a tunnel. Now he's got one. He'll give a penalty for an incorrect feed or feed across, one or the other. It's feed across. He's got privilege for it. So Max has gone for his second time. And the differential goes to Parramatta. A chance. Here's the scrums and penalties. 3-2 the scrums to Parramatta. Penalties 6-3 to Parramatta.
And here's a good situation for Parramatta to put on another one of their specialist tap plays.
So Neil Hunt it is who puts the ball down politely for Peter Sterling. 6 forwards involved in it. And here they go. All over the place, and Jerd goes ahead, and he was actually pushed by Bugden. They put that onto the Sydney Cricket Ground one day. Anyway, it's out with Sterling. Sterling back to Cronin. Cronin stands and gets it back to Sharp. A pop of a pass to Phillips, and Phillips goes to ground. He's about 8 metres out from the Manly line. About 15 of the first half remaining. The ball given back for Stephen Edge, and he's taken by Jeff Gerard.
There's a lot of pressure for Manly to have to withstand in this game.
Duffy is the dummy half. It's gone to Sterling. There's the kick by Sterling coming off Fortin. It's down and back, and Sterling's got possession back for Parramatta. He's counted it as a tackle. Well,
the ball was kicked into Fortin. I doubt that he played at it.
All right, so it's with Don Duffy now. And this is the last tackle coming up for the Eels. Edge has gone to dummy half. Sterling will call it. There he is. And there's the chip, sending Kenny through with Rebo. And I think Ray Price has got the ball and scored. Ray Price has grounded, and it's a 4-pointer to Parramatta. They've gone to 10 points to 0. Here's the Rank Arena replay. The little chip by Peter Sterling. Ray Price is right up there, snatched it from John Rebo and put it down.
These two fellas mean so much to Parramatta, and they've taken it upon themselves to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and really try and turn it their way. Oh. Great backing up by Price.
Cronin is just inside the 22. You'll find he's about 12 metres in. 10-0 in favour of the Eels. There goes his kick. The touch judges haven't moved. It's a goal. And Parramatta have raced to a 12-0 lead. Now, this scrum is blowing up. Woo back, boys. Woo back. Meshes, Boyd and Bugden have been called out. Alan Thompson, an interested bystander, as captain. Ground record here at Brookvale is around, I think, 25,000 ground.
I was talking to Ken Arsen before the match. He mentioned the figure of close to 26,000, and well, they've got to go very close to that today, I would say.
Yeah, well, that stand we're looking at now, no, that's not the stand. This is the one we're sitting in. I'm sorry, but the other stand looks very much the same as it. Down on the Pittwater Road end. There it is there. And it wasn't built in the days when they set that ground record. I might be wrong. It could be up near ground record proportions, this crowd, as Manly take the tap and Rebo is asked to run it.
I expect a real effort here from Manly. There's only 6 or 7 minutes to go before half-time. They're up towards the Parramatta quarter. I'd expect them to try and put something on.
And Dave Brown it is who's going to play it. Steve Sharp just getting back into the line of defence. He took a hit, stunned him. He's got a cut over that left eye, Sharp. You might have just caught a glimpse of it. Thompson is tackled. There it is, a better shot of Steve. Blood over his left eye. McKay bleeding from a cut over his right cheek. Gerard giving a good ball to Sigsworth. And Sigsworth is tackled 10 metres out. Here's the last coming up again for the Eagles. They might try the grub this time, possibly. There it goes. Now it's another bomb. Now they'll surely call. Oh, they all fly, and who's got it? Well, in racing talk, they'll have to use the photo to work this one out. But there he is. Young Phillips has come up with it. But, gee, I tell you what, it's not the first time I've seen Parramatta, not just in this match, but go up for bombs and players not calling one another. I can remember Kenny did it, not Kenny, but Sterling did it at the cricket ground a couple of times last year.
Yeah, just call a little bit of over-enthusiasm. They're that keen to do well, obviously, today. They're all trying just that little bit too much.
So the penalty goes to Parramatta. Stealing the ball was the ruling.
And that's another poor line kick, that time by Michael Cronin.
Bill, the more I see of the line kicks, I'm starting to think your comment about the ball earlier has got special significance. They're much better kickers than this, but Cronin was going for safety there, I'm sure. Here's Sterling.
Well, just prior to the start of the game, I think if you saw the captain's toss up, Sterling did in fact hand one of the balls to the referee to ask him if he thought it was okay to play on with.
This man, Michael Cronin, has had a great first half. He's been able to keep some plays alive just by brute strength. The Arthur Beetson of centres. Phillips. Midway 22, halfway. Parramatta's ended the ground. Bugden is winding up back downfield. He'll come off Sterling. There he is with it now, Bugden. And he's 8 metres his side of the halfway. So it's with Price. Out to Steve Sharp. Gets it away to Neil Hunt. And he said play on, defence not obstructed. Bugden needs a big ball out wide. There's an overlap coming up on the outside. Here's Kenny. He's come to Rebo, but coming across in cover was Chris Close. And play is about 3 metres on the Parramatta side of the halfway line. They lead by 12 points to 0, the defending premiers. The midfield bomb from Sterling. And up they go for it, and Sigsworth has come down with it. Phil Sigsworth to play it for the Eagles. Quilich away from dummy half, tackled by Stan Jerd. Parramatta's Ray Price is injured. Over the far side of the ground, Sigsworth reaches the halfway now. Half-time, 4 minutes away as the ball comes out to Alan Thompson. Behind Boyd to McCabe. McCabe looking to pop a pass, plays it on the halfway. Eadie passes, finds Thompson. Now it's out to Vorton, but they're one-on-one out there. Vorton is taken by Sterling and Edge. And now here comes the last tackle for the Manly side. It's with Phil Blake. He got a pass away. Then to Sigsworth. Back to Dave Brown. Brown away to Boyd. Boyd stands. Gives it back to Thompson. Thompson up the centre. Picks up Vorton. Vorton taken the ground just outside the 22, and that's the first turnover of the game. Sharp.
Parramatta have done a good job of bustling Manly, and they've put them off their normal attacking game.
Duffy. Tackled there by Brown. Boyd went in with a swinging arm. Thus the moan from the crowd. Cronin passes to Jerd. And Jerd is tackled 10 metres his side of halfway. Sharp goes into dummy half. Sterling. Ella. Cronin. Cronin taken there by Phil Sigsworth. David Lydiard has gone into dummy half. Uses Sterling as his pivot. Accepts the runaround and runs straight into Max Krilich. And this is the last for Parramatta now. So it's out to Peter Sterling. He's passed and found Ray Price. Price gets a kick in. He'll find touch. Just on the Manly side of the halfway. But there's a touch judge on the field. It'll be the incident involving Les Boyd. So the scrum packing. Alan Thompson feeding it. And I think Stephen Edge has won his second scrum against the feed somehow. No, it's a penalty to Manly. Out to Sigsworth. Sigsworth pursued and caught by Peter Sterling. And the stretches on out to the left. Eadie, penalty inside the 5 against Parramatta. They're about 46 metres out, Manly. And Graham Eadie is going to fire one off for touch on the hillside. Under 90 seconds. Don't tell me it's happened again. No, he's able to find touch this time, Graham. Lydiard went up in vain.
He only just got there again, though.
So Manly now with about 60 seconds to put their first points on the board prior to the break. Gerard out to Thompson. Thompson to Sigsworth. Sigsworth to McCabe. McCabe to Chris Close is heading to the corner. But a great tackle by Kenny. Manly on the attack. Parramatta defending now with the siren not far away. Sigsworth tries to dance his way through, but he's tackled 3 metres out. Sigsworth plays it. Out it comes. No, McCabe decides he'll try and go himself, and he's a metre from the line. Sigsworth passes to Carey. On the volley to Boyd. Boyd on to Thompson. A long ball. Oh, here's a try. No, he's dropped it, Gerard. And he'll play the knock on 10 metres out from the Parramatta line.
Well, all Jeff Gerard had to do was hold that pass and it would have been a try in the corner.
Manly, every time they're able to spread the ball wide quickly, seem to create problems for the Eels.
It was a great ball by Thompson too. Don't think he can be blamed for that. I think it was just Gerard unable to hang on to it.
Siren seconds away. Sterling feeds it. And down goes the scrum. And up goes the arm. Another penalty to Manly. Phil Blake takes a quick tap. Then it's spread out to Thompson. Thompson on to Chris Close. Now to Graham Eadie. Eadie through the dummy and scored. But hold it. The referee has recalled play back to the scrum base.
A tap not taken on the mark, which it has to be taken, and the referee's ordered a scrum.
Well, the crowd giving the referee the rounds of the table as we were singing the praises of Graham Eadie. Back there, Michael Stone was ordering that the tap wasn't taken on the mark. He's now explaining to Manly captain Alan Thompson his reasons. And that's it. After 40 minutes, Parramatta leading Manly by 12 points to 0. Scrums and penalties at the break. Scrums 4-2 to Parramatta. Penalties have crept up considerably for Manly in the latter part of the first half to 8-7 in favour of the home side. A break, and then we're back for the second half of the Rank Arena Big Game. Welcome back to the Rank Arena Big Game. The first try came after 9 minutes for the Eels off a set move from a tap, and the two props, Jerd and Bugden, did well before giving it down to Ray Price, and he was in to pick up a try that must have really pleased the entire Parramatta camp. 26 minutes into the game, Parramatta's second try, a Sterling bomb, and Ray Price went right above the pack and snapped up another 4 points for Parramatta to lead by 12 points to 0. And welcome back to our Brisbane and Queensland viewers, and to you people watching the game in New South Wales for the start of the second half. Cronin sends it deep, and Graham Eadie to bring it out. Eadie, a good run, ending 25 metres out from his line. Manly in fresh jumpers. I think some of the Parramatta players are also in fresh gear. Close, put to ground. Midway 22, halfway on his own end of the ground. Thompson decides the switches. Oh, Ella went through looking for the intercept as Boyd passes to Rebo, and Rebo is taken by Lydiard. Big man versus little man. Sigsworth. And he takes it up and is put to ground by the Parramatta defence inside the 32-metre line. Last tackle coming up for the Eagles as it's given back to Paul Vaughton for the kick. between Phillips and Hunt. Phillips with ample time, runs it, looks at Lydiard, throws the dummy to the other side and then takes the tackle. Billy Anderson is on the sidelines and he's with Manly's international wing three-quarter, Kerry Bowstead.
Well, Kerry, I spoke to you during the half-time break and you maintain it's harder on the sideline than it is playing.
Yes, Bill, on the shattered minute at the moment, it's definitely no good sitting here. I'd much rather be out there, so I'll have to be back next week.
Scoreline of 12-0 against you, you must be disappointed.
Well, it's not looking good at the moment. We don't seem to have our much emergency in defence as we usually do. Like, you know, there's no sort of extra keenness there to you know, to stop Parramatta. They are playing well and they've got the points on the board.
So you think the defence is your problem at the moment?
I think so. Like, if you can keep me up for this half, I'm sure our attack will come from there.
Yeah, what do you think the Manly tactics will be in the second half?
Wish I knew, and I'd be coach.
Thanks very much, Kerry, and good luck in your comeback next week.
Okay, Bill, thank you.
The ever-popular Kerry Bowstead. And Bill, are you still with me down there on the sidelines? As the penalty goes to Manly. Bill, did you have a chance to talk to Bobby Fulton at all?
No, I had no chance whatsoever, Ray, to talk to Bob Fulton.
All right, so we're not able to ascertain if there was going to be a change in the Manly plan. And picking up the second forward, which was Paul Wharton. Jerd and Edge making the tackle. Krilich goes open side, picks up a wide runner in McCabe.
I think that Manly haven't used a great enough variety in their kicks. Their Parramatta fullback, young Phillips, is playing very flat in attack. He's almost not in a fullback position, but in a cover defending role, and I think they could have used a greater variety in their kicking game.
Sigsworth to play it just outside the Parramatta 22, and Gerard takes it up. Probably he's been the outstanding front rower of the year, Jeff Gerard. Thompson spirals it back there to Krilich, then to Boyd. And here's the last coming up for Manly now.
Yeah, 5 tackles gone, Phil Blake again. You have to get involved in the play.
Sigsworth, a little chip. Phillips goes across, takes it safely. And touch judge going in. Touch judge in. This is to do with Jeff Bugden. Maybe that was the incident there we saw just after the kick. He's given the penalty. Penalty to the Eagles. And Michael Stone quite definitely marking the point where he wants it taken. Paul McCabe, the Manly number 8. You heard me singing his praises continuously through the first half. His first half tackle count was 18, but they were big, weren't they?
Yeah, one of the problems, of course, with that sort of tackling is this. They're either very big hits or they're misses.
It's a difficult kick. Hits it. It's wide. It's come off the outside edge. Sterling is going to bring it out if he can beat Carey. He does that. He's stood in Vorton's tackle, gave it to Phillips, and Phillips is tackled 8 metres away from his line. Price will probably, I thought he was going to run it. He picked up Duffy, and Duffy has had quite a strong game for the Eels. He's worked very hard in defence, and he's been quite prominent in taking it up for the Parramatta side. Out now to Sharp. You could say the same about him, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty tidy display all round from the Parramatta forwards, making very few mistakes.
And now it's with Jerd. Jerd out to the 22. Oh, he's found Neil Hunt, but Hunter's put it down. So Manly with Max Krilich go back onto the attack. Out to Blake, on to Sigsworth. Wide ball to Chris Close. He's well and truly outnumbered, and Price has him around the legs, just inside the 32-metre line. Here comes Carey, tackled by Sterling. That line you see in the top left-hand corner is the Parramatta 22. Thompson coming right across the ground, and there's Bugden going in. Didn't secure the tackle, and Thompson is now brought down on the Parramatta 22. Off goes Krilich, and he's taken by Sterling. Feeds it back, and they've lost it. Now they've got it back, Manly, so he'll play the knock on. Scrums against the feed during the first half, 1-0 to Parramatta. And I think the Eels have won this scrum. It's wedged in there. Here it comes. And the referee has given the penalty to Manly against Don Duffy. So Manly will come out of this with 6 more tackles. And they're inside, as you can see, the Parramatta 22. The tap to be taken by Krilich. Eadie kicking that ball backwards to put the 10 metres between attack and defence. Now it's Krilich, a show of the ball to Vaughton. Boyd, he'll score, I think. No, the little man has been able to stop him, but hold the phone. There's been obstruction in the back play from Jeff Gerard on a Parramatta player. What's Les doing? Les gets up and says, what's been going on up here? Here's the incident. Jeff Gerard's the player to watch. Well, there he is there. Yeah, well, that was why the penalty was given.
Deliberate, Shepherd.
For taking Bugden out of the play. I suppose Bob Fulton by now would be thinking of replacements.
Well, he's got some good attacking players sitting on the bench, players such as Ian Schubert.
Players now just into Parramatta's area. Vaughton taken by Price and Duffy.
It wouldn't surprise me to see a block change by Bob Fulton, maybe Ian Schubert, Noel Coyle and even Bruce Walker.
Gerard. Here's Boyd hitting it up towards the blind side. He got rid of Duffy, but he was picked up and put on the ground by Steve Ella. We're just outside the 22 now. Krilich passes to Blake. Blake to Thompson. Thompson to Close. Now Eadie's coming up, and there goes the fullback, giving it to Sigsworth. Infield for Carey. Carey gets it infield, but Close has put it down. And it'll be a scrum 10 metres away from the Parramatta line.
Interesting to note, we've just been talking about it. It's the first time they've had their full back line lined out. They gained the overlap, and they looked good.
Rank Arena replay of an incident that could have led to a try had Chris Close been able to handle. Sterling to feed. His loose head. Penalty to Manly. And I think he's got the halfback, Sterling. He has, for the incorrect feed. Sigsworth. Back in the line after getting some attention to an ankle, I do believe.
Phil Blake made sure that he took that tap on the mark.
Thompson is only 8 metres out. Manly have 12 points to bring back, and they better start doing it soon. McCabe taken top and bottom. High by Bugden, low by Edge. Krilich working it back to the blind. Boyd looks at his winger and opted not to pass. As he plays it, it's come out to Blake, and Phil Blake has been herded back towards the play the ball area. That's 5 tackles gone now on Manly. Here comes the kick. Vaughton gets it in. It's going over towards Brett Kenny, and Kenny's taken it magnificently. He went right up above Phillips' shoulders. I might have been critical of Brett earlier for seemingly getting in the road, but when you can take a ball like this, is it any wonder?
Well, he was in good position to take that ball because he was on the move. It's no good just standing under the ball and trying to get up high for it. You've got to be on the run, take off, leave the ground to get up and get those high bombs.
Only just the one Manly player, though, chasing that ball through. Alan Thompson, not good enough.
The Cronin drop kick, 50 metres. Carey's got it. Eadie. Back to Carey. Here's an opening up the centre for Manly. Carey almost went through it on his own. Tackle was made by Steve Sharp.
He didn't have the support he deserved then, Carey.
Now it's with Brown. Brown held by Hunt and Price. They're back Manly to be 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Krilich taken by Hunt. Now they're only 5 metres out. Jerd's calling for help out on the blind side. He thinks they might hit it up at him. They did. Flick pass by Gerard, scooped off the ground by Boyd, given to Blake, and Blake is held. Still about 7 metres from the line. Krilich, Thompson, cuts out McCabe, picked up Sigsworth on the 22. It's gone to Eadie, across to Rebo. Rebo's inside 1, got a pass down, but it's Parramatta's ball. Phillips can't handle, and it's into touch for a scrum.
Well, that looked like a try for your life then, but Parramatta scavenged well in defence, were able to cover up the mistake they'd made in their defensive line.
Rebo got inside Cronin on this Rank Arena replay, and then tried to get it inside to Graham Eadie, and then it was left to Parramatta to squander what would have been 6 tackles for them without a contest. Scrum won by Parramatta. I thought he'd recall that for another feed. Sterling, I think himself, was a little bit amazed. He's playing it now to Price It's out with David Lydiard. Tackled by Paul Vaughton. Price. Steve Sharp. Taken by McCabe and Sigsworth on the Parramatta 22 line. Stan Jurd says, I'll have a run, and that's him. Queensland viewers with us today. This is Duffy. Got a pass in for Sterling. Sterling to Ella. Ella's over halfway, but cut down by Alan Thompson. Last tackle for Parramatta. Sterling obliged to pass. Cronin kicks. Oh, straight to Graham Eadie. I don't think Billy Anderson as a coach would have been happy with that one, as Eadie gets a pass to Chris Close, and the big centre's taken about 5 metres on his own side of the halfway. Now it's Boyd. A 10-metre gain for Boyd, taking play into Parramatta's area. Here's Sigsworth. Now Rebo. Lydiard hangs on. Back to Sigsworth. Now to Thompson. It's with McCabe picking up Close. And Close is tackled out there by Phillips. And the help out there of another Parramatta colleague. Vaughton gives it to Sigsworth. Sigsworth looks to pass. It's with Krilich. Backwards, said the referee. Play on. Up goes Max Krilich. Now it's with Paul Vaughton. Infield pass off a Parramatta player. And Phil Blake is in to score for Manly. Blake's in to score under the uprights, so Manly start their climb back. Here's the Rank Arena replay. Vaughton gave the ball to Sigsworth. Sigsworth passed. It went down and behind. Krilich scampered around, saw an opening, charged up the field, then Vaughton. This pass is the one that went in and off a Parramatta player and plucked in by Phil Blake for a try.
Full credit to Manly for fighting back. They've been threatening to do this for about 20 minutes now, but by that sheer weight of penalties, they've come back into this game. Manly's forwards getting a little bit tired up the middle there, and Vaughton handling twice in the move. A little bit of luck there with the bounce of the ball off a Parramatta player, but Blake backing up and getting himself involved in the game.
Phil Blake, magical little player, but he, as the co-commentators have been saying, has been relatively quiet today.
Well, you can never underestimate Manly because they've got such individually good players. There was nothing on them. They were able to make a break, and Phil Blake finished it off. But we haven't seen enough of Phil in this game, and I'm sure that coach Bob Fulton will be looking to see a lot more of him in the remaining moments.
Looking as though Ray Price may come from the field. So the conversion from Graham Eadie successful, and Parramatta leads by 12 points to 6. The Rank Arena big game. Cronin restarts with the deep kick.
Of course, this is a good move by coach Jack Gibson. Mark Lowell, the noted defender, will do a lot of work. He'll take a bit of the heat off the forwards that are starting to tire.
It's out to Graham Eadie. Parramatta have about 10 minutes to hang on to their 6-point lead. Out it comes, wide to Sigsworth, and he's taken to ground by Mark Laurie. His brother Rocky today playing in the Caltex Country Divisional semi-finals at Warhope. As Close passes to Thompson. Thompson across to Blake, and Blake goes back into the centre, but it's a penalty to Parramatta. Well, Cronin will take the shot here. Obstruction is the ruling as Schubert goes on for Manly, and Jeff Gerard has been replaced. One international on for another. Mick Cronin to take this penalty shot, and he'll be wanting to give it plenty of boot to get it over that dead ball line so that Parramatta will come back with possession. Brookvale Oval record. He didn't quite get it today. 24,156 here. Cronin's kick. He's got it. That probably has won the match for Parramatta. Manly would need to score twice now. Parramatta leading by 14 points to 6. 10 minutes out from the siren. Cronin, the goal kicker. Edie sends it down. I thought they would have used the shallow kickoff. Lydiard brings it back.
10 minutes is a lot of football, Ray.
You ought to know. Don Duffy passes to Mark Laurie. Laurie getting the legs up, trying to free himself from the Vorton-Krilich tackle. But for viewers watching this match throughout New South Wales and Queensland today and tonight, this Manly side hasn't at any stage today looked like they have, as they've run in 8 wins out of 9 matches to lead the Winfield Cup. Probably you've got to put it down to some solid defence from Parramatta, but even so, Manly hasn't looked anything like their real selves as Ella takes it to the halfway mark. Last tackle now for the Eels. Sterling puts the kick up in centre field. Parramatta's fullback Phillips is injured. The ball lost by Close and regained. He's ruled that Parramatta stole it, so he's played the advantage. And it's with Schubert. Infield for Sigsworth. Sigsworth to Close. Close got a pass to McCabe. McCabe got it on and Brown put it down. Vorton's got it. Taken by Duffy. Now Carey inside Ray Price. Taken there by Mark Laurie. Blake realising that this match now is getting away from Manly. 14-6 they're down. He's got to use some of that, as I said earlier, some of that Blake magic. Schubert put down on the halfway. McCabe with it. Up the centre goes Blake. McCabe taken by Sterling and by Ella. Last tackle for the Eagles. And Blake is in the centre of the ground as he puts the kick ahead. And the 2 little men, Lydiard and Phillips, go up. Phillips is not 100%. He's clamped. Lydiard's made a long run, hasn't he? An arc-like run, 35 metres out from his line. I think they'll have to replace the fullback Phillips. He can't get any feeling in that left leg. Trainer Alf Richards working on him, trying to get some circulation back into that calf muscle. And now it's with Sterling.
Well,
this is Ella.
Phillips is a young player who's used to playing 35 minutes each way with time off for injuries and goal kicks. Oh, sorry, with no time off. Playing in a first-grade game of 40 minutes each way, but with time off extends to something like 100 minutes, and I'm sure that he's cramping up with the extra time that he's not used to.
Sterling. Running into Les Boyd.
I'd like to see Parramatta change those tactics of the midfield bombs too. Now with the game getting towards its the full-time siren, I'd like to see them use up their 5 tackles and put the ball well down into Manly's quarter.
Steve Sharp. Up the middle goes Sharp. Last coming up for Parramatta. We'll see what they do here. Will they use the midfield bomb or the kick for touch? It's the latter that's gone out on the full. And the scrum will go down just on the Parramatta side of halfway. It came from that man's boot, Ray Price, the dual try scorer for Parramatta. We've got 6.5 minutes of the Rank Arena big game remaining. 14-6 to Parramatta. Yes, for Queensland viewers, particularly Brisbane people, your chance to see the North Sydney Bears go in against a strongly fancied Brisbane on Wednesday night at Lang Park. Graham Eadie. Thompson passes to Sigsworth. Taken by Sterling and by Mark Laurie. It's with McCabe. Out of one tackle. With Blake. Sigsworth, Schubert, Edie's coming up hard. He's put it behind him. Sigsworth is on it. And a knock-on has been ordered. Sterling to work the scrum. Midway 22, halfway. Parramatta's end of the field. It's in. Crowd dispute the feed. Parramatta's come up with it. Lydiard down the flank. Pursued by Rebo. Away from Rebo. Away from Edie. And Lydiard is in for an all-the-way try. under the uprights for Parramatta to go 18 points to 6 now. Lydiard was able to get around Rebo, something I didn't think possible in this match today. Rebo was sucked in by Sterling, however, and then he beat Graham Eadie. And David Lydiard on the Rank Arena replay, plunging in for another Parramatta try, their third.
A very short blind, a real good ball from Sterling, who drew Rebo. I didn't realise this man Lydiard was this fast, but it's a good reward for his efforts. He's taken a lot of weight off the efforts of his forwards during the match. A great reward for a top match.
22 years of age. Funnily enough, David Lydiard trialled, I'm sure, with Penrith. Wouldn't you know it, with the Panthers, luck the way it is, they didn't want him. Charlie Gibson, I guess, and John Pearce will be watching this match and saying, would you please stop making those kind of remarks? But I believe it to be true. 19 is Ross Winshuttle going on for Manly, as Michael Cronin converts the David Lydiard try, and Parramatta have stormed away to lead now by 20 points to 6. And Manly only beaten once, Rebo off. Manly only beaten once this year. It was by Penrith, at Penrith. Really on form, you had to go for Manly. There's the shorter kick-off. Here comes the coach down to welcome his players. So time must nearly be up. This man in the tackle, the two men in the tackle, Sharp and Duffy, to me, have done a tremendous amount in building this Parramatta victory. Thompson standing and giving it to Boyd. Intercepted by Ella. Around Dave Brown. Up the centre goes Ella. Around a couple more. Here comes Lydiard. He can't take it. And it's dived on by Parramatta for a scrum to go down just outside the Manly 22. What Ella didn't know, his partner in crime, Brett Kenny, was on the other side of him. You'll see it here as Ella intercepts, and off he goes. Brett Kenny's on his left. You probably don't see him. That's Mark Laurie coming up, and then he spun it out for Lydiard, but it was an impossible ball. Fumbles in the match. Manly have made 10, Parramatta 5. Manly scrum. Blake. Taken by Ella. Schubert. Krilich. Thompson. Kenny's taken it off him and he's got possession. No, he hasn't. There will be play on. He'll use the same advantage ruling as he did a second ago, Michael Stone. And though there's been a few decisions that have brought a cry of disbelief from fans on both sides, probably more particularly Manly, however, he's had a good game. Michael Stone, I think you'll find, will be the general agreement of the rugby league patrons. Alan Thompson getting treated there in the back play for cramp. Ray Price to play it. The dying minutes of this match. The second encounter of Manly and Parramatta for this year, and it's going to be one apiece. And this is the first win that Parramatta has had at Brookvale Oval since 1979.
Yeah, and the result of this match, and of course the result last week when Canterbury upset Parramatta, has certainly thrown open the race for that Winfield Cup.
And the form shown by St George against Balmain too.
Cronin is 20 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Phillips. Cronin's having trouble getting up. It's with Ella, Price, Kenny. Short ball for Bugden. Bugden looks for a runner. Off the shoulder of Kenny. Running with it as Hargreaves in for another try. Parramatta's fourth. 24 points to 6 now to the Eels. Well, Kenny, he couldn't take it. It went off his shoulder and Neil Hunt was following through like a shearer's dog. Bugden went up, took them on, said who wants it? There it was, off Kenny, and Hunt was Johnny on the spot. Dummy to Lydiard and was in to score. 24 to 6.
Yes, and Bugden's been able to stand up in tackles all day. He's had a fine match. Here he is, he takes the ball up, looks for his support as he's done right throughout. Picked up by Hunt, and Hunt just had an easy dummy to throw as he had Winshuttle on the wrong foot there, having to mark Lydiard, and over for a fine try.
Neil Hunt, a bank clerk, 22 years of age. His father, a former secretary of Eastern Suburbs. And he was on a high. As an Australian schoolboy, he was recognised as the regular Parramatta fullback. When Jack Gibson came to the club, it appeared that he wasn't in favour with Jack Gibson, Neil Hunt, but he hung in there. Neil hung in there, and eventually he proved to Gibson that he was entitled to a first-grade spot. Now as a winger, Cronin has failed to convert, and the score remains at 24 points to 6 in favour of Parramatta over Manly. So you're watching the Rank Arena big game on replay throughout New South Wales and live throughout Queensland today. Michael Stone acknowledges the siren. No, he doesn't. He's called timeout. I think he's worried about the kids on the ground. In fact, the kids have been on the ground and taken the corner posts.
They're running their own game down in the far-end goal area.
Yeah. Blake's kick-off, raked down by Price for Sterling to dive on it. And Max Krilich is injured. Krilich is injured, and Ray Price was the first man to have a look at him and check out his Kangaroo teammate. Max are not well at all. Parramatta's Steve Sharp hits it up to the halfway. Thought about a pass, but Schubert soon changed his mind about that.
They've loved this upset, Parramatta, and they're still hungry for points too.
Here's Kenny. Bugden's coming hard. He's picked up Steve Ella, and Ella is grounded 3 metres into Manly's area. Well, I guess the bookmakers will go back to their betting boards after today and reconstruct the market. Sterling dived on it and then was hit by Schubert. He's given 6 more tackles. Kenny, Price, hasn't stopped working, Price. 32 metres out from the Manly line. 24 points to 6 in favour of the Parramatta side. Sterling, a jink, then a pass given by Phillips to Ella. Ella to Price, on to Kenny. Kenny looks inside, finds Duffy. Duffy tackled on the 22-metre line. There's the siren. The clash of the Titans, as the match had been programmed, is over. Won by Parramatta with 4 tries and 4 goals, 24 points to 6 against the 1 Manly try and 1 goal. Police escorting the referee from the field. The final scrum count 7-5 to Parramatta. The penalties went 16 to 10 to Manly. And repeating your score, Parramatta 24, defeating Manly 6. And we'll be back in just a moment in the dressing rooms for the Rank Arena Electronic Sales and Rentals Man of the Match Award.
A great Parramatta team effort. The Rank Arena Man of the Match, Peter Sterling. Peter, the Parramatta of old, should we say?
Well, it was much more like it, yes. You know, we're very happy with the performance. Everyone gave 110% effort, and that's all we ask.
A much improved defensive effort you were talking about.
Well, that was the most pleasing aspect, yeah. They scored a good try, but for the rest of the game, our defence was excellent.
A lot of the youngsters really did come through, though. Young Phillips, and of course Lydiard on the wing.
Yes, well, they're getting experience in first grade now, and they're handling like veterans, and it's important that we have depth in the club, and they're certainly providing it.
Steve Mortimer, the award winner 1 week. Peter Sterling. The race for the rep honours is still on.
Well, it always is.
Well, there you go. $800 worth of product from Rank Arena, as well as 300 movie swaps and electronic rentals. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Again, just another reminder too for all you folks at home, you can pick up your entry forms for the Rank Arena Man of the Match competition at all your local Rank Arena retailers.
Graham Hughes there, talking with our Man of the Match, Peter Sterling. Let's go back to the Parramatta room now. Here's Graham with coach Jack Gibson.
Jack, before the match I spoke to Steve Edge, and I mentioned to him that Parramatta haven't been playing all that badly, but they just haven't been coming out with the points.
Well, that's right. That's what you get judged on. It's not whether you do a good job or a bad job or play well. It's how many games you win. Were you happy with any one individual more than any others out there today? Well, I probably look on the negative side of it. I usually think who's not going to make the team next week. But in the way they played, that's going to be a tough one with Growth coming back, because everyone can make the team next week.
Now let's take a look at the weekend results, remembering, of course, that Balmain and Newtown was postponed. North's 24, Canterbury 10. Cronulla 42, West 16, South 23, Illawarra 18, East 30, Canberra 10, St George 18, Penrith 16, and repeating the result here, Parramatta 24, Manly 6. The premiership table, and look how tight it is at the top of the table. Manly 16, East 15, Parramatta 14.